Hello everybody, Loki Magic's another day, another video, but today we're going to talk about this new champion called Skytouched Shaman, right? Right now, for some people, the choice might be very clear for you. You already fused this legendary and you don't really care about none of these epics down here, but for some, these epics could be very game changing for you. We did a video on this champion right here. She is a very good alternative to Alton, Tyrell, J-Rig, champions like that, but now we have this one. Skytouched Shaman. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I first got this champion, my mindset was I'm gonna go ahead and just straight fuse her and not even think about her, right? But something inside me was like, you know what, let me check this champion out, and I am glad that I did that because man, she blew my mind. Now, I'm not saying she's in game, but I feel like she has a very strong use case for some people out there that needs a solid healer. So if you're interested in all that, stick around and let's check out this video. Alright, so where do we begin? Because this champion has so much going on with her that it's just, man, it's a lot. But anyways, I guess we'll start with her aesthetics. But first, I just want to say, look, you see this right here? Guess what? Arbiter has some heals. Venus is also wearing heals. Let's see, Raglan. They're all wearing heals, right? Every female in this game has heals. But already, just because she showed up with no shoes, just muddy feet, I like her so much already. But aesthetically speaking, this champion looks amazing. I think they did a really good job designing her, giving her that shaman look. She overall is a very, very unique dressed and unique skill kit having champion. So speaking of skills, let's get into her skills right now so you can see what I mean. Alright, let's get into it. So her A1 attacks all enemies. Attack all enemies on an A1 is always nice. You could put stun sets, frost sets, things like that to even further diversify this champion, right? But getting back to her skills, heals by 15% of the damage inflicted if the champion has less than 50% HP. So that's really good because obviously her passive, right, you guys might already know, takes 10% of her HP damage every single turn. So this could be helpful to keep her alive. But we're going to talk about all that in this video because it gets really interesting. But continue on. Boost this champion's turn meter by 20% instead if this champion has 50% HP or higher. So this A1 has a lot going on and you could do a lot with this A1. Very, very unique A1 for this champion. So her A2 is real good. Removes all debuffs from all allies, then places revive on death buff and block debuffs buff on allies for 2 turns. So I ran out of epic books, so I was only able to get it just 1 book applied on her A2, so you could reduce this down to 4 turns, okay? So remember that. That is possible. Now going to her passive. Now her passive is pretty sick. Damages this champion by 10% of their max HP at the start of each turn. Alright, we talked about that. Heals all allies except this champion equal to the half of the lost HP. Places 30% decreased speed debuff on the champion for 1 turn at the start of each turn. So no matter what, she's going to have that 30% decreased speed, right, at every single turn. But she also has a 50% chance of getting the fear debuff, not true fear, the weaker version of fear, on her at the start of every turn. So there's a cool thing about this though. So you could do block debuffs and none of these debuffs will be applied on it, right? So you pair up with someone else that has block debuffs, then you don't even have to worry about decreased speed or fear, right? But you'll see how it all plays out when we get into the video a little bit further. But there's just tons of things you could do with a champion, and yeah, we're gonna get into all that. So anyways, going to her aura, increases all ally HP in battles by 25%. So this chick is all about HP, all about heals and some debuffs. But yeah, like I said, I'll show you some cool things that you could do with her. So let's go to her masteries next. Alright, so let's talk about masteries, but before we do, I just need to say one thing real quick. So this right here, I figured, hey, let me load her up with a bunch of resistance and see if this could be like resisted. But it really, like, I never seen one resist go off every single time she took a turn. So I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident no matter what you do, this is going to happen no matter what. There's no avoiding this passive when it comes to these debuffs, so don't worry about putting a lot of resistance on her. And her accuracy doesn't really, well, she doesn't need accuracy because she doesn't do anything. So Yeah, let's get into her masteries. So her masteries are pretty simple for me. I pretty much went to HP here and went all the way down this healing buffs. You get 5% more, 5%, well this is 10% more, you know, boom boom, and lasting gifts, because you do want to have that block debuff up as much as possible, because that block debuffs helps her out from getting any of those passive debuffs on her. So definitely worth it to get lasting gifts. Just gave her more HP. The more HP she has, the more she'll heal. And this is just to get here, Arcane Celerity, because she's going to boost her turn meter anyway, so it wouldn't hurt to give her more, right? And for their defensive side, I went this way. You know, since she heals herself, kind of, figure giving her more heals will help out. Now, I messed up and did Shadow Heal, but I think this will be a lot better for her. Resurgent. Right here has 50% chance to remove one random debuff from the champion when they lose 25% of their health. So I think this is good. I should have did that, but I kind of went here. And I have counter up just to, you know, help her out with speed boost and give her some more heals. Oops, I mean this was the counter. This was delayed death, sorry. And deterrence. Alright, so her masteries are pretty chill. Now you could do her offensive tree, probably just, you know, do their standard crit rate, crit damage, and make your way down here, because she only attacks all enemies one time, so War Master would be good. But I just don't really see her doing a lot of damage, and maybe I'm gonna run her in clan boss just to see what happens, because she could maybe be like a free lifesteal set, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, so that's it. Oh, we did not go over her artifacts. Okay, so the reason why I went with Immortal set is because you can see right here, it gives her more HP she has, the more she'll heal, and also Immortal set heals by 3% every turn, right? So if you look at her passive right here, she loses 10%, but if you have a full card of Immortal set, pretty much now she's just going to be losing 1% at every turn, right? So that's how you can kind of work around that. But if you don't really care about her losing that 10%, then you could use other artifacts with her. But this is just what I went with because I thought that's pretty cool. It's kind of like outsmarting the game a little bit, right? But here are all the substats for those that want to see. And like we kind of said earlier, she really doesn't need any accuracy, but this is too much accuracy for her. But overall stats, you can see 81k. Her attack, I'm not really worried about her doing any damage. Her defense could be a little bit higher, and her speed is pretty good. Crit rate, crit damage, resistance. So, you know, mainly you just want her to have a lot of HP and a lot of speed. And her defense, it depends, right? Because the more damage she takes, the more she's going to heal. So yeah, I should have went over that a little bit better. Where's that? So right here, it says heals all allies except for the champion equal to the half of the HP lost. So it's not, let's say you get hit for 10k, it's not healing for 5k, right? It's your total HP loss. So she has, where's she at? So she has 81k, right? So if she loses 40k, then she's going to heal for 20k. All right, so that's how it works. So the more damage she has, the less HP she has from her max pull, the more she's going to heal. But let's show you guys all that right now in some runs, and that way you can see it for yourself. Okay, let's start off here in campaign, so that way you could kind of see her in action all by herself. So you can see at the start she takes damage, but she also healed because of the immortal set, right? So I'll slow that down so you can see one more time real quick. Okay, so let's watch this passive in action. But first we're going to see the immortal set heal, but then the passive goes off, so we are taking that damage. So in the first turn we're going to take more damage, but as we go along you're only going to lose 1% instead of the full 10%, right? And you saw right here we got decreased speed and fear. So that's pretty much how her passive works with immortal set. And yeah, let's speed it back up and talk about the rest. All right, so you can see right here those passive did land. She got both, unfortunately, but she could do her A2 and hopefully, oh nope, and that's what sucks, that fear, it slows her down, right? But luckily it's not true fear, so we could have another shot at her A2. Her passive's proc, she has fear again. Hopefully we could, oh man, this is not a good example, but it's okay, we'll get through it. All right, here we go. All right. So now she has block debuffs and revive on death, so her passive will not affect her. So now she can do some attacks. It'll be boost turn meter because she's above 50%. So that's pretty much how she works by herself. And you can see right now, she isn't healing at all. Well, she's healing herself through Immortal Set, but her A1 only heals when she's under 50%, right? Because her passive heals her allies, and it's big heals. But you know what, actually, let me show you that now. So hopefully this kind of give you a visual rundown on how she works. All right, okay, so before we move on, I just want to show you guys something real quick with the Immortal Set, right? So I got it going really slow because it happens so fast, and you'll never be able to see it with ×1. Well, you kind of can, but you're going to see her HP meter move up, right? But remember where it's at right now, okay? Because what happens with Immortal Set is that it's going to heal her first. See, it moves up, and then since the passive is going to proc, it goes back down. So you're only losing 1%, all right? So remember that. I know visually when you're playing the game, it might look like she's losing HP, but she's really just healing real fast and then just losing that 1%. So with Immortal Set, you can seriously take that 10% down to only a 1% loss per turn. All right, but let's move on. Okay, so let's show her in a team composition with other champions. Now we got 2 Cold Hearts. They're known to do a lot of damage, but they're a little bit squishy, right? We got Golgarath, who's an excellent healer and a reviver, and we got Skyward Shaman, that is an excellent healer paired with other healers that could heal and revive. If you have another champion that could heal and revive, then they work so well together. Their synergy is incredible. And we have Masteries, who does decrease attack and decrease defense, but you can put anyone else in there that pretty much does decrease defense and decrease attack, right? So this team composition is pretty squishy, but you'll see how they survive. Now I'm gonna let it run, and then I'm just gonna slow it down and comment every now and then so you can see the big hills and things like that and get a better idea of what she is capable of. A few things to keep in mind: the Shaman is going to heal bigger and bigger the more damage she takes, right? So typically you're just going to see 5,200 on the teammates because she's not really taking big hits, but when she gets to the boss and starts taking big hits, you'll start seeing bigger numbers. And the reason why Shaman is healing for 8,500 is because of her Immortal Set, right? Not her passive. I like this part a lot because, so pretty much what's going to happen is the Cold Hearts are going to die, right? But because we have an extra healer with Revive, it's really no problem. And that's one thing about this team composition, is that it's pretty much slow and steady. You'll see right here, they took a big hit and that passive is going to go off and the heals are much larger. So that's almost about half her life. So pretty much if she gets near death, she could easily heal for like 50,000. And there you go. So pretty much that synergy between another healer and Shaman is just incredible. And it's maintenance. So here's something else cool about her passive. You'll see right here, Ice Golem's gonna freeze her, but it's no problem because that passive is gonna heal no matter what. Okay, that was a bunch of numbers and letters all over the place, but hopefully you guys were able to see what I was talking about. So let's fast forward to the end and go from there. Okay, and he is down. So with the Shaman in your team composition, I highly recommend having another healer reviver, right? So that's gonna mean that you're not gonna be clearing things fast, but you will. It is a slow and steady proven method. So here is another example of why Shaman is really good. So you can see right here, Kohar's about to die, and she did, but she came right back to life, and then right after that, Valkyrie puts up the shield, right? So when you're playing auto, trying to clear arbiter missions, things like that does happen a lot, and sometimes you can't clear it. But because of this, Shaman is such a good healer and reviver, it gives you a better chance to clear those missions. And here is just another example, pretty much of the same thing. Because you know, I hate when you make it all the way to the boss and then this happens, but it's okay because you got Shaman, right? So really good champion for clearing content on auto. And here we go, another win. But like we said earlier, we're not going for speed here, but we are clearing content. So that's all that matters. So Shaman is a superb champion when it comes to auto content, right? You try and get your arbiter, then maybe Shaman might be the one for you. I don't know. I'm just showing you examples so you could decide for yourself. Okay, so let's wrap this video up. So we're gonna show some Shaman gameplay on the clan boss in the background so you can see that big old heal she just did for 40k. So Shaman has some potential, right? The more damage she takes, the more she'll heal, but she needs that support because she cannot heal herself that good, even with immortal sets. So I'm telling you, man, pair her up with another healer, reviver, and you'll be good to go. She is a very unique and interesting champion. Unfortunately, I will be fusing her because I'm more interested in the legendary Roto, so that's where I'm going to go for. But if you guys are having trouble with clearing content on auto and you might have a Gogarath or other healers, then man, I'm telling you, this is your chance to fuse this champion, get a very unique, kind of cool champion that just does something that no one else does in the game. And you know what, she might get buffed later. We don't know what's going to happen with this champion, but I feel like if you really don't have any place for Rotos, then this is the one champion that maybe you should get, right? Because she is really cool. I don't want to fuse her, but I'm just going to open up some more voice shards and hopefully I'll pull in the future. So yeah, you can see right there, heals a lot, doesn't do a lot of damage, but not too bad, right? So yeah, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time on the next video.